went with his father driving on Saturdays, and his father would pick up a man who wants to buy a car. Philip would sit in the back, but he'd lean over. He'd lean over and watch. And the man, after 3 times he couldn't, so he said, "I'll come back next week." He says, and so then Philip said, "Dad, how about letting me try?" He says, "You're only a boy. I didn't teach you." He says, "Yes, you taught the man." And I watched carefully, and I went home and I marked everything necessary to drive a car. "Let me have a turn." He said, "No." He said, "Please, Dad, I know how to drive."
How old would Philip have been?
Eh?
How old would Philip have been?
14 years old. He's known since 14 to drive. Well, I know a lot of people that age that learn from their parents. But his father was a good teacher because he sold cars very well because he could, teach them. But sometimes he'd meet a dud who just couldn't learn. And the man said, "I give up. I'm not going to drive. My wife will."
So what year would this be?
I don't know what year it was, but he was 14 and he knew how to drive a car.
Around 1927?
Something like that. I don't know years at all anymore.
I saw a guy in Trois-Piastel yesterday had a 1922 Ford. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And Bob started to learn. He gave Barbara a lesson, and he gave Barbara and who else? Barbara and David and somebody else. I don't know. Barbara, David, and somebody else. He said he'll teach them to drive. So they had tests after I don't know how many times. Barbara kept practically bulbing into boulders in the garage. She skidded just by about an inch, and your father half closed his eyes. He got nervous.
Yeah.
But David did it smoothly, parked right in a between two.
And how did Bob get his first car?
Pardon?
How did Bob get his first car?
When he was about 17 or 18, I don't remember. There was a company, High something, that made some sort of air conditioner or something, and he got a job there.
Oh, I know. He worked for Alice Chalmers. Alice Chalmers, I'd heard about that. That's the name of the...
He learned quickly. They wanted to, to give him the good position. Your father said, "No, you're not. You're my son, and you're your mother's son, and our son isn't going to work in a factory. Our son is going to be a salesman because you..."
But he could have been a machinist or something like that. That's...
He says, "You inherit that ability." Jerry was a very good salesman, too. He worked for a clothing store. And then
LaSalle factory showroom, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was good. But Jerry never wanted to learn, and he says, "No, too many people are getting killed. I'm not going into..."
Barbara had told me that she lent Bob the money to buy the car. $800.
Story 15 times.
When did she loan him $800?
When he wanted to buy his car. She was working at that place selling accordion lessons.
Where did she get the $800?
Accordion lessons. Remember that, people?
No, but where did she get $800?
She worked at the place where they sold accordions, remember?
No, I don't remember.
On the telephone, she'd phone up about the students taking accordion lessons. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I know in England she had a wonderful job. They had all the sales girls wearing sweet skirts and nice tops.
Yeah.
And they were all lined up,
She worked for D-Day, Decimal Day.
They wanted to give her an increase and also raise her position, but she said no, she was going home.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cut that off.